आपने खुद की किताब में अपने बारे में ऐसी चीज़ें लिख ली जो सुनकर आपके फैंस भी बोलेंगे कि भैया ऐसा है।
हाँ है, किसी के साथ भी हो सकता है, स्टार हो, यार हो, कलाकार हो, किसी के साथ भी हो सकता है.
At one point of their time, I hope it hasn't happened, but if it has, they have gone through an abuse, a sexual abuse, unfortunately from a family member.
100%. It's the closest person in your periphery जिनको आप देख सकते हो, sense कर सकते हो. Most of the time it happens there. Hi, my name is Kubbra Sait and you are watching me on Bollywood Hungama.
There are a lot of people, not just women, girls, everyone who's watching this interview. And I'm sure at one point of their time, I hope it hasn't happened, but if it has, they have gone through an abuse, a sexual abuse, unfortunately from a family member.
100%. It's the closest person in your periphery जिनको आप देख सकते हो, sense कर सकते हो. Most of the time it happens there. Like it could be a teacher who you trusted. It could be an uncle.
Or someone in the building, that's
that's what I'm saying. It would be you have interacted with them every day. And those are the people who end up becoming predators. And you don't know how to react. I'm sorry, but I took away from your question. It's my fault.
My question, I'm glad you're speaking about all of this. My question to you was that, what would you want to tell them, Kubbra? Because yes, it's so hard to open up, to bring that out. There are memories that haunt you if something like that has happened in the past. What would you like to tell them? If you could go back, Kubbra, would you change anything? Would you stand up? What would you have done? And what would you want anyone who's watching, who's been a victim, to do?
Wait, I'll tell you, this is very interesting that you asked me that. Because, most people think it's easy to answer this question, and it isn't. Wait, this is an interesting question that you asked me. This man who was helping my family had stolen my identity, and time after time convinced me that I was in a relationship with him. He was married and had a child. In the 2.5 years that he sexually abused me, he went on to father another child, all while telling me how much he loved me, and that if I told my family or mama about us, it would destroy us. I believed every word he said as if it were the gospel truth. This is in answer to your question. Looking back today, if I am to be completely honest, I don't know if I would have done anything differently had I been dealt with the same cards. The truth is that you can't be sure. What I do know is that in that moment, my mind, my soul, my truth, everything, absolutely everything felt dead. My values I believed in were eroding. And then I remember leaving the city, moving to Dubai, and my first job was at a cookie shop, and I was selling cookies, and I saw a familiar face. It happened to be his. So one day I spotted a familiar face outside the cookie shop. I broke into a sweat. I stood there wearing my apron and chef's hat and watched as ex begged and cried and asked for my forgiveness. I won't ask anything of you. I won't touch you again. Please come back. This job and this place are not where you belong, he said. I had worked too hard and stayed silent for too long to throw in the towel and head back to the same hellhole. I refused. He didn't put up a fight. As he turned and walked into the crowd, I took his words, his last words, seriously. This place is not where you belong. I didn't belong in the dark abyss in my heart. I belonged somewhere better. I deserved it. I did not belong where I was standing. It was time to start forgiving myself, to take back the power he had over me. Forgiving oneself is much more rewarding than waiting for an apology from the person who destroyed us. The person who breaks us cannot be the one to fix us. We need to heal, move on, love ourselves. So yes, to answer your question, to be honest, you really never know. You are so dead when something so grave and serious is happening to you. that you really cannot put up a fight. It's not about strength here. It's really something that is so shocking that you go into flight or fright and you freeze. And it's a very, very hard moment to rationalize with, because you're like, I'm so smart, I'm so intelligent, मैंने दुनिया देखी है, मैं दुनिया को तो अपने उंगलियों पे नचा सकती हूँ, मगर मेरे साथ कैसे हुआ? I don't deserve this. And you don't. And that's what matters. So whether you've come to a realization of the abuse you went through yesterday in your life or when you were a child, you know that that's not who you are. And it does not define you. And it's really up to you to stop looking at yourself so cruelly and harshly. वैसे तो दुनिया आपको वैसे भी देखने वाली है with a harsh point of view.
Right.
Because we've seen what happened with the Me Too movement, right?
Yes.
We had to remind people repeatedly that you cannot go about shaming the victim. We don't know how to deal with these things. So I truly believe you have to stop putting the expectation in other people's hands and take the ownership and accept. First of all, accept what happened to you was not okay. And then you move on and you heal yourself so that you are not jaded for the rest of the world and you're not jaded for yourself. It's hard. I'm not saying it's easy. I know it was hard. But is there a way out? Yes. Are there a million excuses that you give yourself? 100% yes. So it's time for us to stop giving excuses for ourselves and stop giving excuses for the other person too. And it's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy. It's hard. Yeah. I'll say that again.
Oh my God. There's so much that's happening. I don't know. This interview is going to stay with me for a really long time. Wow.
I think,
Hats
you know,
off to
what we
you,
can
Kubbra.
do with conversations, Urmin, is that amplify it to the extent that people who need to hear it do hear it. That's the least we can do. In a world today where everything is so fast and furious and सब इतना जल्दी जल्दी हो रहा है, can you leave a meaningful mark for those 2 minutes, 3 minutes? जो भी वीडियो देखो आप, अगर उसमें कुछ अच्छाई कोई लेके जा सकता है, तो I think your job and my job here is done.
So while writing your book, did you ever doubt anything to be put out in the public? Because you've come out and spoken about parents and the divorce, and then you've also spoken about how you went ahead and had a relationship and then terminated the pregnancy. Were there any apprehensions, Kubbra? What was going on through your mind when you were writing it?
That it was a story that was important to me and changed me.
But don't you feel that kind of a pressure because you are a star and there's
Thanks.
a certain kind of course, there's a certain kind of, oh, Kubbra ne ye kiya, wow, Kubbra aisi hai. I mean, stars are influencers, stars are, idols in our country, they are loved, they are worshipped. आपने खुद की किताब में अपने बारे में ऐसी चीज़ें लिख ली जो सुनकर आपके फैंस भी बोलेंगे कि या ऐसा है.
हाँ है, किसी के साथ भी हो सकता है. स्टार हो, यार हो, कलाकार हो, किसी के साथ भी हो सकता है. आपकी बहन के साथ हो सकता है, आपके बेस्ट फ्रेंड के साथ हो सकता है. But I remember this, right? When I came to Mumbai in 2010, where I knew nobody, zero, had no idea. मैं Facebook में लोगों को मैसेज करती थी, लोगों से ईमेल लेके ईमेल्स शूट करती थी. I used to be that person. तब से मैं कहती थी I want to be famous. मुझे आइडिया नहीं था कि फेमस का मतलब क्या होता है. धीरे धीरे करके ये समझ में आया कि जब आप कोई इम्पॉर्टेंट पोजीशन पे होते हो ना, तब आपकी आवाज़ की वैल्यू होती है, लोग आपकी बात सुनते हैं. एंड फॉर मी दैट pedestal of fame became a place where I don't isolate myself from people but become one with the people, so that if I tell you my stories, you know that if she's standing up there, whatever this place is, star, fame, whatever that you're saying, oh, versatility, whatever you say, if I am able to tell you my story without flinching, then no matter where you are, in whichever tier town that you live in, if you have access to this story and you turn it around and you share this with people who who may be going through, then my job there is done. And I am not alone and neither are you. And I think that for me was the purpose. It was not about let me go out there and, tell you how flawless I am. I am here because I've had like the most flawed experiences. I am not perfect. But do you think I can go out there and create a better future based on the past experiences I've had? Yes. Am I human? Am I not allowed to evolve?
Has the parents and the broken marriage affected Kubbra Sait to get into a relationship?
For a very long time, yes.
What about now? What's your relationship status?
I think I realized that the better I am to me as a human being, the better partner I can claim for myself. I always wanted to have either a boy who I could take care of or a man who would take care of me. And in both cases, it does not work. And that was a big problem. And does it affect you when you come from a broken home? 100%. But am I the only one? Definitely not. Do I need to pick myself up and say, okay, this is what I prioritize, and what I prioritize is me? Then do it. Move on. You are really not answerable to other people for what happens to you, because there's so much of an element of choice and your own selection. Everything in the world today is a choice, Urmin. Everything is a choice. And I choose to be better for myself. I choose to be a better partner. I choose to be a better mom.
Yeah.
If I have the opportunity. If I have the opportunity, why not?
Do you regret terminating the baby?
Not at all. No. Not then, not now. But of course, it made me feel terrible when I did that, because, come on, I was raised in a family where you have so many things as a part of this construct, right? So, jo maine kiya was definitely wrong according to so many parameters.
Samaj.
So many parameters, right? Religious parameters, societal parameters, personal parameters, so many. Log kya kahenge syndrome. Everything is there. And no, it was not easy to go through it. But that's why it's so important to be honest and truthful to yourself. I knew I was not ready to be a mother. I don't think it is fair for me to bring in a soul into this world when I'm not ready to nurture it the way a soul should be nurtured. And if I have won that battle, if I have won that debate in my mind, I've done a good job.
All right. We spoke about your life. We have spoken about, your childhood. What we're going to speak about now, the one film that we saw you for the very first time in. ये लड़की बाइक चलाती है सलमान खान की, कमाल की बातें करती है. And this has also been spoken in your book. If I'm not mistaken, कुछ 88-89 पेज पर रहेगा कुछ.
Oof.
संभाल लेना please.
88-89. My first audition. My first audition in my city of dreams was for a Salman Khan film called Ready. This was in 2010. I was stunned when I was offered the chance. How did a nobody like me come to a city and get a shot to become a somebody? I was unfettered with joy when I went to that audition, eagerly hoping to be discovered. A few hours later, Shahid Hassan, the casting director, walked in, looked at me with concern. Ye pehnoge? He asked me, pointing to my salwar kameez. I said, yes, maid ka role hai na? Hot maid, he replied. What? I was going to play a hot maid in Salman Khan film. This was too good to be true. I replied perkily, of course, I have a short dress. And at that time, we used to carry all these, things in our bags, right? तो corporate look हुआ करता था, short dress हुआ करता था.
अच्छा, आप अपने साथ ही लेके
हाँ,
आती थी?
एक छोटी सी duffel bag होती थी. So I went into the studio का changing room. And I wore
पू बनी पार्वती टाइप्स
immediately. और फिर मैं बैठी थी और फिर मैंने I think शायद 2 घंटे वेट किए थे ऐसे करते हुए. और फाइनली अनीस सर आए एंड शायद से वो मीट के लिए ये है क्या? हाँ, ओके डन. मैंने कहा क्या ऐसे होता है क्या?
ऑडिशन नहीं हुआ.
फेस. I just met Anis sir. Like, I think 3 days ago.
अच्छा.
After 10 or 12 years, I was so happy to meet him, and he was so happy to meet me.
But were you like okay with हाँ यार ये रोल कर लूंगी, इतना सा तो पार्ट है, but
हाँ, कौन एडवाइस देने वाला है यार? At this stage, when you
was
are
it
new
on?
to
Was
a
it the
city,
plan? Was it the plan, Kubbra, to be in films?
was it a plan to be in Salman Khan film? No. Did I think Salman Khan is going to like work with me and give me dialogue to my face? No. तो जब होने वाला था, चुप, बिल्कुल चुप. Take the moment and ride it. मेरे लिए बस वही था. And I think more than me wanting to become an actor, जब मैं दुबई में रहती थी, मेरे सारे दोस्तों ने कहा, जब मैंने अपनी बैग्स पैक की ना,
हाँ.
और मैं आ रही थी, हाँ जाना जाना, एक्टर बनेगी तो एक्टर. अब बन गई, अब क्या करोगे?
I want to just add that रेडी फिल्म आने के कुछ दिन पहले ही हम पहली बार मिले थे. एंड व्हेन द फिल्म केम आउट आई वाज लाइक इसको मैंने कहीं देखा है. लाइक आई हैव सीन हर. नहीं कोई दूसरी फिल्म में नहीं, बहुत नजदीक से देखा है, नजदीक यहाँ से देखा है मैंने. आई एम लाइक ओह माय गॉड,
ये वही है
जिसने मुर्गी और मुर्गी का जो फर्क है वो जान गया.
ये वही है. Yes.
Okay, but wow, this huge film. I think Ready is a very, very funny film. I love it.
It used to be so amazing because I am this kid who has come into Mumbai for the first time. I'm sharing a vanity van with 3 other people at this point. So I used to sit outside. मैं आज भी अपने vanity के बाहर ही बैठती हूँ.
But listen, did you really ride that bike? Were you?
No. अच्छा. No, I didn't. But
somehow कुब्रा को देखकर ऐसा लगता नहीं है ये तो बाइकर है
ना?
हाँ.
गलत फहमी. मैं नहीं हूँ. मुझे गियर की गाड़ी चलानी नहीं आती और बाइक नहीं चलानी आती, मगर शायद सीखना पड़ेगा.
Now we're going to talk about a very interesting thing that happened in Colombo.
What happened in Colombo?
जब आपका पहला दिन था शूट का,
हाँ.
and you have recalled a memory or you know how it started off, but unfortunately breakfast नहीं मिला था. And
वो तो हर सेट पे नहीं मिलता है, ये कोई नई बात नहीं है, ये सिर्फ एक सेट की बात है. चलो भागो, टाइम हो गया.
तो क्या हुआ था एग्जैक्टली?
कुछ नहीं, हम लोग गए सेट पे. हम लोग वो मिनी वैन में गए थे, सेट पे पहुंचे और सुबह में ब्रेकफास्ट नहीं खाया था. तो वेट कर रहे थे, तो सब लोग मेकअप में चले गए. मेरा भी मेकअप हुआ, मेरी भी साड़ी 4-3 बार ऐसा उन्होंने ड्रेप की, फिर खुल गई, फिर ड्रेप की, फिर खुल गई. तो मैंने 2 चेयर लगाए, सो गई मैं. फिर फाइनली कुछ ऐसा 2 बजे 3 बजे ऐसा शोर हुआ कि ओह माय गॉड, you know, and you
It's
know,
the first time you're seeing him.
yeah, and I do remember, no, I think I met him
Huh.
before that, but you know, he's legit superstar, man. Like I met him like yesterday, day before yesterday, you know, he is a superstar. He's undeniably like the most amazing, you know, energy and aura that he brings, and he's there, he's right there. So he walks in and then he flexes his muscles and he says, lunch break. है? काम नहीं करना किसी को. He said,
Lunch break.
lunch break 3 बजे. यार मैं 2 एप्पल खाई हूँ. सुबह से भूख लग रही है. Lunch break, चलो फिर lunch ही कर लेते. So then we sat down, and I said this before as well. The beauty of working with SK is that you actually have one big table that's set up, and he sits and he'll make sure आपने खाया, तुमने खाया, तुमने खाया, तुमने खाया. और this is why eating a meal is with company is so important to me, because you cannot hold grudges when you're eating. Late हो गया, 2 एप्पल खाए, सुबह से शॉर्ट नहीं हुआ. You can't do all of that. आपकी सब चीजें आप भूल जाते हो, आप खाने को एंजॉय करते हो. फिर सेट लगा, फिर हमने शूट किया.
एंड इसके अलावा भी we've seen you in Sultan.
Yeah.
You worked with him.
Yeah. Can you imagine? I have done 2 Salman Khan films. I am amazing. Hi, my name is Kubbra Sait and you are watching me on Bollywood Hungama.